going to make some folders for my happy planner. So if you have been in the planner community for quite some time, you know of Alex, or Miss Trenchcoat. She has a great video about how to make these folders for an A5 Filofax and for a personal size, I believe. So I'm going to attempt to make some for my happy planner. So these are file folders from the Target Dollar Spot. I recently picked up 2 sets of these because I knew I wanted to make some for my happy planner and some for my Heart of Gold planner by Marion Smith. So I'm gonna try my happy planner first. Now I have my happy planner here. I'm just trying to figure out the size that I want to make these. I don't know if I want to make them the size of the inserts or the size of the cover. I think I want to make them the size of the insert. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a sheet out here and I am going to measure it. So the first thing that I did, and I ended up doing this off camera, is for these folders, I have cut the tab off of this one. I'm going to cut the tabs off of both of these. So here are the 3 patterns, which are sort of my signature gray, white, and pink. Those are colors that I absolutely love. And I love the contrasting insides. This one is green, this one is light pink, this one is dark pink. So I love that. So I am going to go ahead and measure these and punch them. Let's see if I can find myself a pencil. Here's one. So I'm just going to make a couple small marks here where I would be able to see it when I go to punch. So there is my cut lines. And I'm thinking I'm going to put the fold on the outside and punch this side. So do I want to make this slightly longer? That would mean that they're going to stand out for my tabs. How do I want to do this? I'm going to move it out slightly. So let me erase these marks. So what I'm doing is I am just going to move this over just the tiniest bit, probably a 1/16 of an inch, not even a full 1/8 of an inch. That way they will stand out a little bit, but not too much from my insert size. And then I'm going to cut. If I can find a paper cutter. What paper cutter would I like? I'm going to use a rotary blade paper cutter for this. And I have quite a few cutters because I am a scrapbooker. So I do have a guillotine style paper cutter. I have a large rotary style paper cutter that I use to cut like stacks of paper. And I have like a drag, I don't know what those are called, like a blade style cutter. This is a rotary cutter, which means it has a circular blade here. There's a circular blade. Let's see if I can zoom in. So you can see here there's a circular blade, and that blade spins along the paper and cuts it. The reason why I'm using that particular type of blade is because this is sort of a thicker paper and I don't want the paper to fray as I am cutting. So this will make a really, really clean cut. So here what I'm doing is I am lining up these little marks, with the edge of the cut guide here. And I'm going to line that up right away. So what I want to do is I want to push the paper all the way against the paper guides on the paper cutter, which these are the paper guides. I want to make sure my paper is pushed up against that on both of the paper guides. There's a paper guide here and then there's a long one here. I want the paper to be flat against that paper guide, otherwise I'm going to get a warped cut. So, and then I lined up those marks here with the cut line, and so I am just going to, matter of fact, I'm going to switch this and cut the opposite way first. I will line this up here. all I did was I pushed down on the carousel and then with even pressure dragged it along the paper, and I got a straight even cut and the paper did not fray at all. So I can keep this to make a page flag or a today marker, which I think I'm actually going to do that. So then I'll turn it this way and cut. And now I have my little folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and I'm going to cut this here along that edge. And let's see, I'm going to take a ruler. This is a magnetic ruler and a magnetic cutting mat. This is from We Are Memory Keepers, both the ruler and the cutting mat. So I think that looks pretty good. I don't need a whole lot of space down here at the bottom. So as you can see, my paper is not going anywhere because that ruler is magnetic. It comes really in handy. And I'm going to take my paper cutter, my craft knife, and I'm going to trim that out. So I did not put very much pressure on that at all. So here I have my little pocket. So I am going to punch this before I adhere it. Am I going to punch it? No, I'm going to adhere it first. So the tape that I'm going to use is this red line tape, and it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. I got this online years ago. I'm trying to think of what her name is. I believe her name is Jody, and I got this years and years and years ago, and I used this quite a bit. So I do have quite a few different sizes on hand. So I have the 1/2 inch size. I also have this masking tape. It's called Soup in a larger size, and I have that in the smaller size as well. So you can get these online. I'll have links on my blog if you're interested. So I am just going to take this along this edge here. And then I'm going to take it along this edge. Trying to keep that tape very, very close to the edge of the divider, because the further I put that tape in, the less space I'm going to have to put things inside my pocket. So that's going to go just like that. I'm going to punch this end. So let me go ahead and take my backing off of my tape. I'm just going to press this down so that it gets a good adhesion to the paper. Be careful with your craft knife. Since I have it facing this way, I don't want to like lean into it and stab myself. I say that because I have done that before. So I'm going to take off that red backing tape or backing paper. I find that my craft knife works very well to do that. And then I am going to, when I press these down, I don't want this part of the folder to bubble. So I am going to sort of press it this way. I'm using my thumb here. I'm going to press it this way and then press it down so that it lays very flat. And I'm just going to go along the edge here. And I should get little to no warping. And as you can see, that still lays very flat. I don't have a big bubble right there. There you go. So let me go get my punch, which I just cleaned up my scrap room. So everything is sort of back in its place, which means that I can't find anything. So Luckily I keep my punch out on display. So my punch is here. I'm going to unlock it. This is the Staples, the MAMBI Staples Arc Punch. Okay, unlock that. There we go. I already have this set to junior size, and I'm going to slide that in there, and I am just going to punch down. There we go. So then if I get my planner back and put my page that I took out back in here, and I can stick this folder right there. And it works perfectly. So it is slightly shorter than the pages. So when I cut the next one, I'm going to make it slightly taller because it's a little bit longer on this bottom edge here when you line it up and punch it at the junior size. So let's move on to the next one. So I'm going to take the pocket that we just made. I'm going to use it as a template, except I am going to slide it up just slightly, and I'm going to make my marks. And this time I'm going to do both of these at the same time. So I'm just going to line that up. Let me get my punch out of the way. Grab my paper cutter. I'm going to make sure that these are straight and together. My marks are on this page. So, do I want to cut the long end? Nope. So the reason why I'm changing sides, I have it lined up on the long end, and what I'm noticing is this extra piece here is going to be very small, and that's not the one that I want to use for my page marker. I want to use this leftover piece, which is going to be about that wide, so I don't want to cut this little square off. So if I cut this side first, then I'll have that page marker piece left over in a good size. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this edge first. I did a double cut there because I didn't press down too hard, and so the first cut probably cut through the first 2 or 3 layers, and that final pass cut through that last layer. So that's done. I'm going to turn it this way. Make sure everything is lined up nicely. Make sure nothing is sticking out up here. Make sure both of the pages are touching that paper guide. I'm just going to slide this down a little bit to make sure everything is lined up. And there we go. So my pockets are coming together. If we look at the size, they're slightly taller, but the same width, and that is perfect. All right, let's test these out in my Happy Planner. And if we go through here, as you can see, I typically just give one little push in between all of those, and there you go. It fits, it sits perfectly, a little longer on top and a little longer on bottom, but it doesn't stick too far out here with my tabs. So if I wanted to stick it in between a month like this, I could, and I can still see my tabs on the outside of there. So there you go. Here are the little pockets for your Happy Planner, and I hope you liked the video. If you want to see anything else, leave me a suggestion in the comments below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up to let me know, and make sure you visit the blog www.LaBelleAngelle.com, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.